Secret of Yom HaKippurim is the Bris. Avraham, it was said in Midrash, was circumcised on Yom HaKippurim. To me, this is the fundamental tenet of the entire Jewish opus. The idea of the Bris, and that the Bris, the first Bris, occurred on Yom HaKippurim, and it was done by Avraham, because the great secret of Avraham is that his name changed from Avram to Avraham. In other words, the Hey was added. This letter Hey relates to the Bris. That Hey is also evident in the terminology for Yom HaKippurim. Yom HaKippurim. There's no other reason for that Hey to be there except that. That Hey symbolizes the 5 coverings that we have on Yom HaKippurim. Eating and drinking, no washing, no oil on the head, no sandals on the feet, no sexual things with your wife, which obviously means the Bris. This Hey is also evident as the letter of the Bris, in that on the 8th day, which is the letter Het, which is comprised of a Vav on the right, a Yud on the left, and a little Chuppah between them. And then on the 8th day, the left side is cut. The left leg is cut, and that makes a Hey. So the 8, the Hey, on the 8th day becomes the Het becomes a Hey. It's the contact with the left that is cut off. Circumcised. Always remember that Avraham only had Milah. He didn't have Perea. So when they say that on Yom Kippurim, Yom HaKippurim, that Avraham had the Bris, remember that he only had the Milah. In the Messianic future, he will return and he'll have Perea also. But before the mitzvah was given on Mount Sinai, those who had those who had Bris only had Milah. Still, the concept of the letter Hey as coming with Avraham, and the concept of the Bris itself as the fundamental tenet of Judaism and the fundamental tenet of Yom HaKippurim, which is Purim, like Purim. In other words, people say, oh, Purim is greater. It's like Purim, but it's nothing like Purim. The opposites attract, the opposites combine. Purim and Yom HaKippurim, 2 seemingly opposites, one physical, one spiritual. But it's nothing like Purim. On Purim we drink. We drink liquor. On Yom HaKippurim we drink nothing. It's the spiritual root of the physicality. I know that it's nice to say how the physical is higher. And the physical is what we're doing right now, talking and enjoying. But once that occurs, one forgets that man is a spiritual being. A spiritual being. Let us not forget this. And this is one of the big problems. It's like Yom HaKippurim, but it's nothing like Yom HaKippurim. Purim. Yom HaKippurim is like Purim, but it's nothing like Purim. And that's where now we are understanding the sexual tensions. As you read the tractate Yoma and the separation of the Kohen Gadol 7 days before the services, and the purity of this Kohen Gadol who is constantly watched so he doesn't have a seminal emanation. And they choose another wife for him, and all these things to show the sexuality. Because Judaism is primarily about sexuality. The apparent sin, Erev Shabbos, between Adam and Eve, apparent sin, all based on the letter Hey. For me, even the word get is based on the letter Hey. Let me show you this. Get is Gimel, Tet. If you take the letter Hey and split it up, which is what a get does, you get a Dalet and a Yud. So the get, which you have to put into the Yad, which is your Dalet, this get is made and comprised out of the letter Hey. Dalet, Yud. When the marriage is going on, then the letter Hey works for this marriage. Because in all mystical symbolism, the number 5, which is the letter Hey, is the letter of marriage. It's the first even and odd number, besides called 1. Even and odd number together, the 2 plus the 3 makes 5, and that's the letter Hey. It's the marriage number in symbolism. We take that, so that's the Hey. It's comprised of a Dalet and a Yud. So in the get, we separate these two letters, and we have Dalet and Yud. And so that's actually die, that means enough, and that's actually why the marriage is breaking up, because the man has had enough. But in the Dalet and the Yud, then we take the previous letters to this. The previous letters in symbolism, previous to the Dalet is a Gimel, and previous to the Yud is a Tet. And so the previous letters of the split up Hey, the Dalet Yud, is Gimel Tet, get. So this is how the get actually comes out of the letter Hey. Everything with sexuality and marriage and well, the Bris comes out of the letter Hey. And that's what we know because Abraham received this Hey. And that's actually what's going on in Yom HaKippurim. The Hey of HaKippurim is the circumcision, Bris, of Abraham. On Yom HaKippurim, the first man who ever received the Bris, and that's manifested and symbolized in Yom HaKippurim, and it's celebrated. And so the real thing that we're celebrating on Yom HaKippurim is the Bris of Abraham.